Joining me is the President of Comoros, President Azali, who's also the Chairman of the African Union. Welcome to India Today, sir. It's a pleasure having you here when India is hosting the G20 Summit. And of course, the big focus of this summit is actually the African Union. That's something that the Indian Prime Minister has made a big pitch for. There have been reports already that the African Union has got full membership. It would be great if you can confirm this to us on India Today here, and what's your first reaction to it?
D'abord, je vous remercie de m'avoir invité.
First of all, I would like to thank you for this invitation and also thank the Prime Minister and the people of India for the warm welcome extended to us and for the good arrangements made. It's a pleasure and a great honor for me to be here and share this moment with you.
C'est vraiment un plaisir pour moi, un honneur de partager ce moment avec vous, le pays hôte, mais aussi avec les pays du G20. Par rapport à la question précise de l'adhésion de l'Afrique dans le groupe G20.
Regarding the question that you have just asked, the membership of the AU within the G20, an advocacy have been made by my predecessor, and since I've come to office, I've become chair of the African Union last February. I continued this advocacy, and I hope that our membership will be confirmed tomorrow. This will be a great opportunity for Africa. We are living in a planetary world, and therefore we have to work together. Africa needs to have a voice in the multilateral area. The continent has a lot of potential, and I think that we have a lot to bring within the G20.
On regorge beaucoup de potentialités qui peuvent servir par rapport au thème qu'on va aborder demain.
Prime Minister Modi had written to G20 leaders saying that it's extremely important to have the African Union part of the G20. What do you have to say about this, and what role do you see the African nations playing in the G20 as a major player?
D'abord, effectivement, je suis d'accord avec vous, qu'on remercie beaucoup le Premier ministre Modi, parce qu'il était parmi les premiers, non seulement à accepter.
I agree with you that the Prime Minister has played an important role, and I would like to thank him for accepting our membership to the G22 and also for making the advocacy for Africa as a whole. So if tomorrow Africa becomes full member within the G22, it will be mainly also because of the role that India has played. It will be an honor for us, and it will especially be an honor because this adhesion would have happened in India. We know the effort that the Prime Minister is making. We heard from the IMF that India has become the 5th most powerful country in the world. This is a good example for us because we know how far India has come to become today one of the powerful countries in the world. So Africa will play a big role within the G20. The themes that we are going to discuss tomorrow, One Planet, One Family, One Earth, are important themes, and Africa can bring its contribution to these main themes that we are going to discuss tomorrow.
Donc, encore une fois, on remercie le Premier ministre pour les Africains et puis lui dire qu'aussi l'Afrique, effectivement, il va mener sa voix au G20 pour se prononcer dans le cadre des efforts qu'on doit affronter. Donc, le thème de demain, c'est la planète, la famille et l'avenir. C'est des thèmes très importants qu'on doit être ensemble pour essayer de voir comment on peut avoir une feuille de route pour aller de l'avant et puis, des fois, effectivement, se voir, pouvoir faire un bilan, mais aussi aller de l'avant.
President Azali, China, of course, has a lot of interests in Africa, a lot of investment done by China. Do you see India playing a similar role, or perhaps even a bigger and a more important role in infrastructure development or investments in the African nations?
Tout à fait. En tout cas, nous avons un bel espoir par rapport à l'investissement de l'Inde en Afrique.
We have the great hope that India will invest massively in Africa. We are living in a multilateral world, and therefore we need each other. China, of course, has made a lot of investments in Africa, but India has also invested, and it can do much better today, as he was declared one of the powerful countries in the world. Africa is ready to welcome India. Comoros has always lived with Indian business people, and we hope that now India as a country will promote investments in the Comoros. We have set up the African Continental Free Trade Area in Africa. This is a big market. This is an opportunity for the entire world, and therefore it's for us African to attract investments in our countries. So we are hopeful that those Indian people will come and invest in our country. We have a very attractive code of investment, and those investors who will come to the country will have a big market thanks to this African Continental Free Trade Area.
Maintenant, c'est à nous de séduire. C'est à nous de faire en sorte qu'effectivement les gens viennent chez nous par rapport à notre code d'investissement. On y travaille et très sincèrement, on sait, on compte beaucoup sur l'Inde pour les investissements en Afrique, mais aussi aux Comores.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also spoken a lot about the Global South, and one of the big focus areas of this G20 summit is in fact the Global South. He's also said that India can be a voice of the Global South. Now, you being part of the Global South, how important is this call by the Indian Prime Minister for the developing nations, and how do you see these nations playing a pivotal role in global affairs?
Tout à fait. En tout cas, il y a beaucoup d'années, on parlait de la coopération sud-sud. Donc, effectivement, cette coopération, elle était là. Bon, par rapport aux opérateurs.
We used to talk about South-South cooperation. Today, I think that we have to be united. We have to speak with one voice, and that is the reason why Africa wants to be involved in those multilateral organizations. We used to have countries called developing country, but if we take the example of BRICS now, we can see that those countries who are part of developing country are becoming developed country. So we know that India has been promoting global South-South cooperation. This is very important today, but we have to work together in a win-win cooperation. And as I said it in St. Petersburg recently, we need each other very much. We have to work together in order to reach what we call a positive cooperation. So we have to work with all countries, the US, the European Union, and all those other countries in order to promote development.
Je pense que maintenant, il y a des très bons résultats. Parce que lorsqu'on se voit, on parle le même langage, et que demain, lorsqu'on va être dans le multilatéralisme avec le Nord, que ce soit les États-Unis ou l'Union européenne, de façon à ce qu'on ait des plaidoyeries qui puissent nous satisfaire nous tous, mais aussi on sait que maintenant la coopération, comme on dit nos amis chinois, ça doit être gagnant-gagnant. Moi, je l'ai dit à Saint-Pétersbourg hier, quand on était dernièrement, j'ai dit que notre pays, on a besoin de tout le monde. Maintenant, on va vers une concurrence positive. Donc, on ne va pas appeler un pour en sortir l'autre. Non, tout le monde a sa place. La concurrence positive, elle fait gagner tout le monde. Et de ce côté-là, nous remercions beaucoup le Premier ministre Modi par rapport aux efforts qu'il fait dans ce cas.
One last question, President Azali. What role do you see African nations playing in several affairs around the world, especially in wake of the G20 membership? Do you see it as something similar to the European Union?
Pourquoi pas, même mieux. Donc, c'est vrai que l'Afrique a pris du retard, mais ce retard-là doit nous apprendre à tirer toutes les leçons pour ne pas faire les erreurs que les autres ont faites.
We have to draw the lessons from the past, but we can also say that EU is an example that we can follow. Africa has a lot of potentials, especially in the field of agriculture. 60% of our field can be exploited. We have potential in fishery and minerals, so we have to work so that Africa could benefit from those potential, because we used to be a victim, now we have to be part of the development. We are discussing about climate change. That was the issue, the theme. We discussed about climate change recently in Nairobi, and we have to work on this. We have to be together and work on all those fields. We used to be victim we are victims of pollution, so we have to work together in order to fight pollution. I wrote recently to the Prime Minister of India following the floodings that took place here, and this is also the reason. It comes from climate change. So we are going to discuss about the Earth tomorrow during this meeting. We'll discuss about it during the COP28. So there are many different themes that are very important, and we need to be united in order to find solution to those challenges that the world is facing.
Surtout nous en Afrique, qui sommes victimes de ceux qui ont déréglé le climat. Nous, on est victimes, mais c'est pourquoi on doit être ensemble. D'ailleurs, j'ai constaté, j'ai écrit au Premier ministre pour lui parler des condoléances, les inondations qu'il y a eu dans ce pays. Et ça, c'est effectivement le résultat du dérèglement climatique. Donc maintenant, le fait qu'on soit ensemble, d'ailleurs, le thème demain, la Terre, ça veut dire qu'effectivement, le problème de climat doit nous nuire. On en a parlé à Nairobi, on va parler certainement demain, et puis on va parler à la COP28 aux Émirats Arabes Unis. Donc maintenant, le fait qu'on est là, l'Afrique, pour travailler avec les gens, nous avons quelque chose à apporter, mais on sait que nous, on a d'autres choses à gagner par rapport aux autres. Maintenant, c'est de travailler en belle synergie pour que tout le monde puisse en bénéficier et surtout qu'on puisse léguer aux générations futures un potentiel qui puisse aussi parfaire et puis de parfaire aller de l'avant par rapport à ça.
Thank you, President Azali, for your insights. And once again, it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you from the entire India Today team.
Merci beaucoup.
It was a sheer pleasure, and I hope that this will not be the last interview, that we will have the opportunity to come back here and discuss with you one more time.